My job as an artist is about beauty. And I know when I was in graduate school, they used to laugh at me because of that. The guys from Brown thought I was a disaster because I said, I really love things that are beautiful. And I love plants because they're beautiful, and I hope that people look at my artwork and see the beauty in nature, and then maybe looking deeper to what's going on with our environment and thinking how we're like destroying so many things that are beautiful. I used to visit my Aunt Doris's house on Cape Cod. My mother would put me on the train when I was like 4 years old, all by myself, and I would go down to Cape Cod, and Aunt Doris would take care of me, or allegedly take care of me. She said, Deborah, what am I gonna do with you? Loved going there. She had the most beautiful gardens. It was right on a pond. It was idyllic. And she had ferns growing in the woods, and then she had peonies growing in her front yard in the sun, and agerenum growing in her garden. And we used to sit on her porch and gaze out at the pond and at her gardens and drink iced coffee with ice cream in it and watch the drunken birds who would eat the berries on the mulberry trees, and they would be drunk, and we would have the most amazing time. She was a force. She was an attorney, and she had a big influence on my life. When I was in the 3rd grade, we had to do murals, and I did murals of hibernating bears. And my teacher said, Debbie, you're an artist. And I thought, maybe I am. So I knew in the 3rd grade that I was going to be an artist. And when I went to college, I majored in art and did a lot of plein air paintings, you know, drawing around campus and doing paintings of like trees and flowers and bushes and stuff like that. Not really realizing how much nature was influencing me at that time. Then I started doing watercolors, like plein air watercolors. And I use a lot of my plants that I have around the garden, I use them directly in the work. I do echo prints, and so I take the leaves or the branches or the flowers and I put them on printmaking paper, and then I make this stack. Paper, leaves, paper, leaves, paper, leaves. And then I boil it in a pot for a couple of hours with alum and rust. And I started using ferrous oxide for rust. And I get these really unique pieces, and then I draw on them. And I'm drawing from either memory or observation. It depends, you know, what I feel like doing. So when I moved to Naples, I bought this small house, and there was absolutely nothing here except a big tree. And I thought, this is it, I'm gonna create a jungle back here. And I created my garden very much how I work on my artwork. You know, I plant something here, and maybe it lives, maybe it doesn't, or I move things around, and it's a whole process, very similar to my artwork, how I work on my garden. Now that I've conquered tropical plants, I finally know what to do with them. And they have to be in the right place, get the right amount of sun for them, to get the right amount of water. I have to learn about each one individually, which I didn't quite understand in the beginning. I could not get anything to grow. And it was frustrating and crazy. My garden did not look like this, the way it looks now. So it was a challenge. It was a big challenge for me to understand how things grow in the tropics and how things grow in Naples, Florida. So I have learned, and I love it down here. I love my garden, I love my house, I love my neighborhood, and I especially like my studio. So I've created a wonderful life for myself.